welcome back to your Community Connection Corner here on your Catholic station, Real Life Radio 1380 and 94.9 FM. I'm Jennifer Longworth, joined today by Jennifer Arena and Samantha Rodarte of Faith Feed, Glean, Kentucky. Welcome back.
Thank you. Thank you.
And in the first segment, we addressed who you are as an organization with Faith Feeds, but want to get a little bit deeper into who you are and the essence of Faith Feeds and how you've seen the community involvement and seen people get involved and really, I don't want to say take it personally, but, get personally invested in your organization.
And we like it when people get personally invested because that's what makes everything, so much better and so much stronger. And it is the partnerships and the personal connections that we've made that have made it so successful. In terms of community involvement, I'd like Samantha to talk some about the recipients in the Carnal Valley area, because I've been told that 4 of the families that receive are now regular volunteers. Mm-hmm. So they are becoming engaged in the process and engaged in the people that work there also and that also volunteer.
Yeah. We have, like you said, we have 4 families that volunteer regularly. And this one of our volunteers, the difference that we don't require identification. The only thing that we require is a signature and an address. And that's just for our records to make sure that we're serving the people that we need to be serving in the areas that we need to be at. And she said that because of that, because she doesn't have identification that other places would require, that she actually feels like someone cares that she's seen. And she volunteers with us every single week.
To help distribute, if someone comes in to help, is that what a volunteer would do then?
And she's a fluent Spanish speaker.
Oh, that's helpful.
Which also is extremely helpful. Oh, yeah. So it's been great. And she's also one of them. We've been talking in our group on we want to get more involved and go help Glean. Mm-hmm. So at this point in time, we've got about 5 people who want to go and glean with Jennifer.
And that's awesome.
Yeah.
And the more gleaners, the better.
The more, it's a very volunteer, resource intensive thing to do. It's easy to do, but there's so much to be done, every day all over the place, that we do require a lot of volunteers to make it all happen. And, we're doing something every day of the week, and
picking up, distributing, picking up and distributing, and then distributing and picking up.
Yes. So some of it, like going to a grocery store, you pick it up, you take it somewhere. It gets a little bit harder to go to a place like UK Horticulture, we call it UK South Farm, out at Nicholasville Road in Man of War, because we transfer stuff and it can be a little heavy, and so there's some work to be done, and it's outdoors. But a lot of people really like that. They like being outside. They like the physical, physicalness of it. And this week we've picked up 2,500 pounds from there.
Wow.
So there's a great partnership with UK College of Ag, and so to get people to go to the fields and actually do harvesting, that's another step further, because it does take some physical activity and during the heat of the summer. But the people that like it really like it, Right. It's a fun thing. You were usually with a larger group. And one year, and it was a beautiful day in December, and we were cutting cabbage, harvesting cabbage.
Okay.
So we had our knives and we're like hacking the cabbage and and having a lot of fun and tossing it. Well, we had to go back a second day, and it was pouring the rain.
Nice.
And so it lightened up and it was kind of sprinkly. So we did it a little bit differently, and we were tossing the cabbage from row to row to be put in the truck instead of walking because things were wet. And I tell you what, we had a blast. And we felt like we were like tossing what's the medicine balls, the big heavy,
Oh,
because,
like in the gym?
Like in the gym. Yes, it was like being in the gym, because these cabbage heads were like, 5-6 pounds. Some of them were, huge, even bigger than that. And we had so much fun.
That's awesome.
So,
and you mentioned that was in December, so this is a year-round program. It's not just, hey, summertime, this is when everyone's tomatoes and zucchinis are going crazy and there's plenty to glean. I mean, this is year-round.
yeah, there's farmers. We had such a mild winter, so they were growing things, and it was because of the mild winter. Now, last year, it was so cold that it affected Reed Valley Orchard. It affected the peach crop because it didn't form peaches because of the, minus 15-degree weather.
Right. That would
So,
do it.
so it varies. And that's one thing that I think is kind of fun about it is you never know exactly what you're going to get when you're going to get it. Now, I say fun. It makes, coordinating that, it takes a lot of effort to coordinate that. And teaching like the farmers, it takes a while. Even at UK South Farm, when we first started, we got 10,000 pounds, and then they started learning more. So the farmer actually has to start thinking to include us in their plans, in a way. So once you start including that in the process, then last year we got 42,000 pounds from them. So,
That's a little bit of an increase.
there's
there.
a little bit of, each year it's increased. So it takes some effort for the farmer to plan, like, request to come out, and harvest the remains. We just say, we need as much notice as you can give us, but that might only be 2 or 3 days, and we understand that. And so we try our best, and we can get volunteers pretty quickly. But that's why we need such a huge group, because if we have 50 volunteers and we say, who can come out tomorrow and go to the field, it's going to be a small portion. If we have 500 volunteers, then I can get, 10 or 12 people, probably a lot easier on a short notice to go to a farm, to harvest the remains. So we need our volunteer base to grow tremendously for those opportunities that are coming our way.
So
more
what
and more
about
each year.
is your volunteer base at the moment? Do you know?
Well, last year we used 300 volunteers, but probably 200 of those went to the orchard, and so they were in groups, like groups from Lexmark, groups from businesses that give their employees community service time as a benefit.
Gotcha.
So they get together as a department or whatever, and they go out and often go to the orchard because that's the easiest thing to, I guess, plan for. For in your work time, to do that as a part of your work. And so we always need volunteers, and it's hard to get too many volunteers at the orchard because it's a big place. So we're limited usually on truck space or people, as to how much we can get. The more people, the more vehicles, the more boxes, the more we get.
So, someone with a minivan who could put the seats down, that would
Those
be
stow and go minivans,
Yeah.
we have some volunteers with that, and I'm impressed. They can get a lot of stuff in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure. And pickup trucks, if anyone has a vehicle that would be able to move. Because you're talking about, I just picked up 100 pounds of food. I just picked up 300 pounds of food. And I'm like, that sounds like a lot of food.
It does. But you know what? 100 pounds of food, a lot of our volunteers that go to the grocery stores and might pick up 100 pounds of food, they have a regular sedan.
Oh, okay.
A lot of them. It just sounds a lot. They have to use a trunk space. They put, a towel down and put stuff on their back seat and that sort of thing. But yeah, the other stuff, the orchards, when we go to the farms, we're talking, we need trucks,
Well, I was at farmer's market last weekend and they had truckloads of corn that they were selling. Right. I mean, the whole truck bed was full of corn. I'm like, that's a lot of corn. So I can just imagine gleaning.
Yeah.
I don't know if you get a whole truckload of corn.
Well, sometimes we get quite a bit. And last week at the Lexington Farmers Market on Sunday, we got 500 pounds donated from all the farmers that were there. Their remains that they knew that they're not going to save until their next market day, and they have another crop coming in, and they know that, and they've been, tremendous partners.
Now, do you give to like Lighthouse and Lexington Rescue and organizations like that for them to distribute or for them to cook, or
both?
Okay.
Like Lexington Rescue Mission, they serve meals every day, and they will use a portion for their meals. They've told us that they can serve more people. They serve more nutritious foods when they add the vegetables, and they don't have to up their budget. It's good for their budget because they can feed more people on the same budget that they have. And then they also put things out in the hallway, and people from the neighborhood, about 80% of the people that come to their meals are from the neighborhood. And they can take food home with them. So they do both. So and most of the places, a lot of them have a combination, but some are just the hot meal programs, which we also serve. And then we serve pantries. The Community Action Council on Georgetown, they take some stuff that doesn't require refrigeration. The apples, the potatoes. I have given them zucchinis, and they've moved those fast enough to where, they can get them out of the way before they need refrigeration. So all the general places that people know, and then a lot of the church ministries, neighborhood ambassadors, new pantries like in Cardinal Valley, which, didn't exist. So they're just strictly our distribution point only. Some of the food, a lot of the food goes to God's Pantry, so it might come through the pantry there in the new pantry in the Cardinal Valley area also. So any place that is willing to take the responsibility of caring for the vegetables and getting them to the intended population.
Well, before we let you go, I wanted to give you an opportunity to promote your fundraiser you have coming up.
Oh, yes. Burgers and Beats, Sunday, July 20th, 5 to 8 p.m. Food, music, fun, gleaning garden for the kids, games for the kids. Last year we had a blast. People seem to be excited about it this year. People are telling me, I'm rounding up the whole family and bringing everybody. So we partner with Weed and Michael, who prepares the food, and it's picnic style out in the field behind Wallace Station. And
well, how can people get more information if they're interested?
And you can get more information by going to our website, gleankentucky.org.
Do you spell out Kentucky, or is it just KY?
Oh, KY, gleanky.org. Thank you. You can get more information by going to gleanky.org. And you can see more about it, see pictures from last year on our website, and see our sponsors. We're very thankful to like Stolke and Ogden and Blue and Company, and for being sponsors. Lexmark, Bates Security, Kentucky Foot Professionals.
A lot of
different friends of ours.
And again, your website is?
www.gleanky.org.
Well, thank you, Jennifer and Samantha, for joining me today with Faith Feeds Glean, Kentucky, and hopefully everyone will check out your website and get involved. It's been your Community Connection Corner here on your Catholic station, Real Life Radio 1380 and 94.9 FM, WMJR, Nicholasville, Lexington.